Sir, this event is by invitation only. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. The security guard didn't lower his voice. The sharp command echoed through the grand hall as dozens of sharply dressed guests turned their heads. In the doorway stood a frail old man, stooped and silent, his coat threadbare and shoes dusty with age. He didn't look like he belonged, not in this room filled with medals, polish and pride. Whispers began to crawl down the aisles like vines. Who let him in? Is he lost? Probably homeless. A mother gently pulled her son away, eyes narrowing at the stranger's worn presence. The old man didn't flinch. He slowly reached into his coat and pulled out a small envelope, a gold-trimmed invitation. It had no return address, just a message printed in bold. You are cordially invited to the Armed Forces Youth Awards, honoring tomorrow's heroes. He held it out with shaking hands, but the guard didn't even look at it. I said this is for invited guests, not— The pause was a slap in itself. Not people like you. A teenager in the front row, his ROTC uniform pressed tight, laughed under his breath. Why's a hobo crashing a military ceremony? A few more chuckles followed, eyes rolled. One woman murmured, some people just want attention. The old man turned, about to leave. His steps were slow, heavy, not from age, but from something older, something deeper. He hadn't wanted to come, not after all these years, but something about the envelope had pulled him back. Maybe, for once, they remembered. Then it happened. A sharp voice from the stage cut through the noise like a blade. Wait! Every head snapped around. A young woman in full dress blues stepped forward from the podium. Her eyes locked onto the old man's chest, her mouth parted and her posture shifted. Because that's when she saw it, not the coat, not the shoes, not the grey in his hair, but the small shining medal pinned above his heart. A star, encased in blue, surrounded by gold, the Medal of Honor. Gasps broke out. One by one, the audience noticed. Murmurs turned to stunned silence. A man whispered, "That can't be real." But it was, and the young officer on stage knew exactly what it meant. She stepped down, boots firm against the marble floor, and approached him with reverence. "Sir, what is your name?" His eyes, sunken but fierce, met hers. "James Elridge." There was no applause, no recognition, not yet. But her hands trembled as she saluted, because she knew the name. She had studied him late at night in obscure files and dusty military archives. James Elridge, the soldier who carried 3 men from a burning ambush site while bullets tore the jungle apart. The man who threw himself over a live grenade. The hero who never gave a single interview, who vanished after the war, who refused to let his pain define him. And now he had come, alone, quiet, forgotten, to a ceremony meant to celebrate future heroes, and nearly got thrown out of it. She turned back to the crowd, voice shaking with fury. "Ladies and gentlemen, we were moments away from dishonoring one of the greatest heroes our nation has ever known. He didn't come here for praise, but we owe him more than silence." The silence shattered into applause. One by one, people rose to their feet. Even the ROTC boy was standing, eyes down, face red with shame. The guard who tried to remove him stepped aside, head bowed. Someone brought a chair to the front row, but the old man didn't sit. He stood beside the stage, straight-backed, as she returned to the podium. "Heroism isn't always loud," she said. "Sometimes it limps into a room wearing the same coat it's had for decades. Sometimes it waits in the back, hoping to go unnoticed. But today, we see you." She turned again. "Mr. Elridge, would you do us the honor of presenting the final award?" The old man's lips quivered. He nodded slowly. When he stepped onto that stage, cameras didn't chase him for fame. They captured reverence. He placed the Youth Valor Award into the hands of a teenage cadet whose father had died in Iraq. Their hands met. Something passed between them, a torch, a truth, a legacy. The boy saluted, and this time James Elridge saluted back. When the ceremony ended, no one rushed out. Instead, they lined up, to shake his hand, to ask his story, to thank him for everything they never knew they owed him. A little girl tugged his sleeve. "I want to be brave like you." He smiled, the first real smile in years. Sometimes heroes aren't in the spotlight. Sometimes they carry their medals quietly through the noise of a world that's moved on. But when the light does find them, even for a moment, the room changes forever. So, never judge a person by the wear on their coat. You never know what kind of heart beats beneath it. If this story touched you, subscribe the channel and hit that like button and drop a karma in the comments below.